Hi folks, welcome back to another episode of the Brand Builder Show, and today we're going to be talking about how to succeed on Amazon. It's going to be a great episode full of great information for you, so do check it out to the end. To talk through these topics, we've got a new guest on the show, Owais. Thank you for coming on the show today. Appreciate you taking time out.
Thank you for having me, Ben. Thank you so much.
Now, I'm excited to dive into it. I've had a little look at your background, and it looks like you're doing some fun, exciting things. And I know that our audience is going to get a lot out of the conversation today. So we're going to talk about product research. We're going to talk about launching products, Amazon SEO, PPC, all of that good stuff that people want to know about succeeding on the Amazon platform in a changing environment that we are facing today. So yeah, looking forward to that. But before we do that, give us a bit of information about yourself. Tell the audience who you are, what you do, and then we'll dive into some questions.
So yeah, starting with the name, I'm Owais Amin. I'm CEO of Upscale Valley, a full service Amazon agency. So I jumped into the Amazon world in 2018. There was a lot of hype here in Pakistan regarding Amazon, and that was the time when I jumped in. So before that, if you talk about the background, I've done MBBS, which is, you can say, equivalent to MD in the USA, like doctor. So after that, I was more into the e-commerce, the online world, checking out the startup side and all those things, and somehow the Amazon world was easy to understand. It intrigued me, and once I started looking towards it, I could not look back again. So started Amazon in 2018, then founded my own agency. At that time I launched 2 of my products. Then in the end of 2019, I founded Upscale Valley, the full service Amazon agency, and up till now I have been managing around, you can say, like right now I'm managing around more than 50 clients. And we are not a PPC specific agency. When it comes to our service, it includes you can say brand expansion, the launching part, the catalog issues, the PPC and all that thing. But it takes to become a full service Amazon agency. So that's what it is.
Yeah, nice, man. Nice. There's a big and growing and strong Amazon seller community in Pakistan, isn't there?
Very strong. Very strong.
What do you think? What is it about Amazon, selling on Amazon, that's made that happen? Because it's one of the locations where you hear all the time about such a growing strength of Amazon sellers, and it's what is it about Pakistan? What is it about the culture, about the opportunities? Is there anything there, or it just became popular because lots of people were doing it?
No, there is contribution of culture. Somehow we don't experience it in any other field, but in Amazon it was a culture. If someone is doing Amazon, he would probably invite other people to share what he's doing, how he's earning money and all that part. And then again with the Amazon, it's kind of the local marketplace Daraz here is not as big as Amazon is. So we crack down the methods, like you can make the company by sitting here in Pakistan, a US LLC. You can do that for UK, the ease of doing business and all that part. And then again, the dollar is, the economy is in USD, which is the world standard kind of stuff. And then again, the market size is pretty big. Almost if everyone is jumping into the business, still they are going to make a good amount of money. The e-commerce world, like it gives you the remote option facility and not a job stuff. Like you can start with the service end, and then you can always turn into a business owner and entrepreneur. While if you're doing remote job in the software world, you have to either go big to open your software house, otherwise you are doing job. So these were kind of stuff which interested people. And then again, there were some like a good in Pakistan, you can say around 60 to 70% population is less than 35 years of age. So there's a pretty much good decent number of youngsters in Pakistan. So people were looking some options, and this online wave kind of hit us very good manner. And everyone is kind of jumping into not only Amazon, but then again Amazon is a decent chunk of where the youth is becoming interested towards.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome, man. Well, congrats on your success so far, and I'm sure that will only continue and grow. Managing 50 clients on Amazon, 50 plus clients, and I'm sure lots more in the past as well, then you would have definitely picked up a lot of best practices, mistakes people are making. So it would be good to talk about what's working right now, because it's easy for someone who had success a few years ago to give insight on what general principles that work, but someone who's on the cutting edge of operations right now, obviously has a lot of insight to what's working right now. And selling on Amazon, of course, has changed over recent years, but it is something that still has a lot of opportunity if you do it in the right way. And as we've talked about, that starts with product research, doesn't it? So can you talk to us a bit about your process, your methodology when working with clients that want to expand their product range, or even brand new clients, they want to launch new products? What is your thought process, methodology for that research phase?
Yeah, sure. So when we get to the product research part, we all have seen that you can say the ever-changing time. Apologies for that. You can say the time in which things or methodologies of launch have been updated, like in 2017-18, that was the time of coupon jumps and zone jump, such kind of thing. Then there were giveaways time era, like ManyChat, and you are giving coupons, etc. Crazy. Then in 2020s, in the COVID time period, there was a PPC time. Amazon was giving more reward if you are utilizing PPC at its full capacity. And then after that, this is kind of post COVID era, where in some products PPC is super competitive, and you can't imagine that you are in the USA market in a big depth product. You are playing with PPC for a low price product and it's going to work. So things have changed in this latest thing. In the last, you can say 1.5 year, the change has not been regarding the launching perspective. The change has been regarding the product selection and its design development perspective. That is something unique. Like if you check out from 2018, there were the product, what you were supposed to do is check out the design of bestseller, find that on Alibaba, make a replica and launch it on Amazon. But then again, the launching methodologies were changing from coupons, from full giveaways to PPC. Right now, people, like everyone, is using the mixture of all these launching strategies. But what has changed is not the launch strategy, but the product research criteria, the product selection criteria, what design you want to go with, and what should be the value addition. So in this last 1.5 year, the importance of selecting a product has become significantly higher as compared to the earlier years. Right now, if you see all of the people in their masterminds, like what they are teaching is how you can differentiate your product. And what used to be considered as a risky approach before, like coming up with a new design and all, is becoming a mainstream right now. So having set up this kind of background, let's talk about what is this is kind of a glimpse of what has been changed or what has been the pattern of changing. So having this at the background, let's discuss about the product research methodologies. Usually what we do is, if you see YouTube, the stuff from many people is kind of all over the YouTube, that you should find a product with the box size, the price should be somewhere between 15 to 25, something like that. So what usually works for me is some against all these guidelines, against all these instructions. So what I usually do is like for some of our clients, we do hunt the products. Like if someone has come to us and they are doing maybe 20-30 products and they want to set up their brand expansion, like they want to plan around 10 to 15 to 20 launches per year. So we plan that out for them. We suggest them products which support their brand values and all that part. So in this approach, what we do is we set up the price point, like something above $50 works awesome. The minimum criteria is $30. The reason is the competitiveness of PPC. You may find some products with lower price on which you are going to get one click in $4, $5 or maybe $6. So one thing at the point. Second thing is we try to find products either in which we can do improvement, like any kind of design development opportunity. For example, let me give you 2 examples. Letter envelope or you can say craft bag papers. All over the page you are going to see same thing. Like the only difference is going to be pack of 20, pack of 50, pack of 80. That's going to be the only difference. There's no value addition component. On the other hand, maybe some kind of the mats for dog, or maybe anything related to pets, maybe anything related to gym, etc., any such kind of stuff. There's an opportunity for design development. There are multiple designs selling for the same keyword, so you have the margin to come up with the improved design. And now with the help of AI, with the ease of crafting new design, it's becoming easier day by day. So this is the second thing. The third thing which we pick up is the market depth should be pretty good, because the things do fluctuate time over time. Another thing which I usually observe, what new sellers do mistake is, products do have a fluctuating revenue. They don't have a consistent revenue all over the year. If I kind of rephrase this part, it is, let's say your product picks up some hype in Q4. You and in first, second, and third quarter of the year, it's making, let's say, on average around 15 to 20,000, and in Q4 it makes 50,000. So what people do is, they are doing research in the Q4. They assume this 50,000 revenue, it's going to stay there, and they plan the inventory and all that part accordingly. And once they land into Q1 or Q2, they get to realize, oh man, it was 50% of the revenue which I saw in Q4. So that kind of jeopardizes all of their calculation. So we try to find out some products in which there is a resistance, or there is a gap, or maybe it's not easier to launch for anyone. Because if it's easier, then what's happening in the Amazon market is the Chinese sellers are going to come up with cheaper or more competitive price, and it would be very hard for you to compete them only on the basis of price. So you need to come up with some kind of design development. You need to come up. We also do check out the conversion from the Amazon Seller Central part, and then we check out the suggested bids and figure out what's going to be my cost per order acquisition through PPC. And then after all this working, all this the depth of the keyword and all that part, this is, I believe, what makes a reliable recipe for launching the product in this time 2023. It's not same what's being commonly spread on the YouTube right now.
Yeah, there's lots of information you give there, and obviously a lot of research you're doing by the sounds of it. One of the things I think we're all agreed on is that you need to differentiate. If you don't stand out, then you won't make sales, right? But the question I often get from our community is, well, how much is too much differentiation, right? Because I always say that you don't want to invent a product, you want to improve a product. You don't want to try and manufacture demand, you want to, capture that existing demand with a new and improved product. But it's a common question is, well, how much is too much differentiation? Because you might be worried that you're going to completely change the product and then not satisfy the search intent of the user. Do you have any feelings on that? Is that a non-issue? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, that's something pretty important. But I usually grade that element of differentiation is into three levels. The first level is, some people consider differentiation is, let's say market is selling pack of 20 balloon, so they come up with pack of 50, pack of 10, and they believe it's a differentiation. It's not. Some people consider that, okay, the whole market is doing pack of 20, let me come up with pack of 10, so I'll be better offering in terms of price, and that's not a differentiation. So anything which your competitors can replicate in less than 6 months, I don't consider that actually as a differentiation. Because you have just launched and people are observing, okay, this guy is picking up traction. What they need to do is, they need to contact back their supplier and ask them, okay, from this time give me a variation as well, like right now if I'm purchasing pack of 20, give me a pack of 10 variation as well. So it's pretty easy to conquer that part. And then again, on the second level, there are some differentiations which may require time, like you can say more than 6 to 8 months to replicate from your competitor side. For example, we see stress ball in the form of train maybe, and it's being sold on Amazon in a valuable manner. But then again, if you come up with a new mold, let's say in the shape of car, or maybe in the shape of plane, and that is again the same stress ball, and we check it from PickFu and people are appreciating this design, then okay, this is something you're coming up with a different design. It's serving the purpose, but the design is different. Or the other point is, you combine the trends in the market with your product. For example, then again, I can give you all these examples by staying within the stress ball sphere. So in 2017 or 2018, people used to sell simple stress ball. Like stress ball is for if you are stressed, you are office worker or something like that, all that part. Now stress ball is also used for the fidgeting activities. So if someone has the habit of scribbling or maybe fidgeting or maybe moving their finger, tapping their finger to the table, so it can also be used for that part. So a smart play which a seller did was he combined the fidget spinner, or you can say, sorry, not the fidget spinner, the puppet. You must have observed the sensation of the puppet on Amazon. So he combined the puppet part with the stress ball. Now it's again serving the purpose, but then again with an additional benefit, like okay, it's also you can say supporting that same fidgeting habit, that same value. Like people are popping the stress ball and they can also squeeze it. So it's serving the both kind of purpose. So these are some kind of changes which require more than 5 to 6 months to copy or to replicate. This is something I believe. Then the third stage which you were telling is like people altogether change a product and you are not able to like they forget that whatever differentiation they do, that should support or that should help people to cater their pain point in a better way. Like people buy the product either for the purpose of to cater their pain or for pleasure. So that differentiation should support people to cater their pain point or to gain the pleasure in a better way. If it's not serving the purpose, that's a wastage. So I got a client when there was a product, I'm not completely sure about the name, but it was something like tobacco crusher, something like that. Anything like there was a round box and they used to put something in this, and you could not run PPC on that product. So the usual market price was of $40. He came up with a product of $300 and the main image was same.
Wow.
And I asked him, he said, okay Wes, it's not selling, I want you to find a solution for me. I said, okay, what is your differentiation? He said, I have a patented machinery, ABCD, etc., such kind of stuff inside the box. But people were not able to observe or to appreciate that differentiation through the main image, and it could not sell well. So in the world of e-commerce, it's not only you need a differentiation, your differentiation must also have that feature that it can be understood very clearly through the main image. If it's not happening, then you're not going to get the desired result. You may get the desired result in retail world. People can feel and touch and have a detailed look of the product. But in the e-commerce, if you cannot explain your differentiation through your main image, it's not going to work. So this is
good. No, that's good. And that brings us on to the next sort of phase, really, which is launching that product. You talked about the importance of having the right imagery, getting your listing down. What are the strategies that you're using? So let's take a typical client of yours. They've got a range of products. They're about to launch a new one. What are the things that are working for you right now to get that ranked well in search results?
So what we usually do is once we approve a product that this is something which we want to sell, we make a plan for this product. And when I say plan, it means we note down the risk register and the gaps or opportunities. Like these are the risks for this product. For example, the CPC is going to be competitive, or maybe this product has this feature, so the return rate may be going to be higher, and we can check out this from customer insight data and the seller central part. And then again, maybe this product has inclination like that the customers are going to fall more for the high review sellers. So these are some kind of risks, and we also try to identify gaps. For the gap, I really appreciate the definition which Mike Beckham, the co-owner or co-founder of Simply Modern, he had given that in a podcast, and I really appreciate that. He was saying every brand has some of their strength. So try to figure out what are their strength, and strength cannot let's say if there are 5 features to play or there are 5 areas to play, no one can have their strength in all 5 areas. So they are going to super specify themselves, or they are going to have their strength in 1-2 feature. So check out what are the features they are missing, and that is going to be your strength power. So I find that very valuable, and I guess he labeled these as the white patches. So we identify these parts as well, and then again the risk as well. So at the time of approving a product, we have the clarity what is going to be the launch strategy. So first thing which I want to communicate to the audience is There's no one simple strategy. Surely people do share the blueprint, like okay, I'm going to target exact match, mid-tail keyword, and then low title density and all that part. But the launch strategy starts right from the time when you are approving a product, because the first stage for launch is how you are going to differentiate your product in terms of design, product offer, because that replicates in the form of conversion, and a higher conversion means lower cost per order acquisition and higher rank, so more organic orders and more probability to get ranked. So starting from that part, we do check out, and then again we also do practice how we can play with the FBAT fee tier, like playing with the weight or maybe any such kind of dimensional part if there is a margin in this product, so we can come up with a better pricing. So after that, once we go to the launch state, let me share with you an interesting thing which I do is, if we check out the Amazon research papers, where Amazon like the data scientists at the Amazon, what they share, they usually highlight that there are three factors: clicks, add to carts, and orders. This is what define the ranking. So these are the three only factors. Then again, the conversion, the click-through rate do contribute, but those are derivatives of these three factors. Like the conversion is derivative of order and click, and then again accordingly. So according to Amazon research paper, which is published, what they say, there are these three factors. Now we both know that no one gets order beyond first page. Like all the orders are on the first page. You don't get order on second, third, fourth page for the majority of the products. But then again, there must be a mechanism to define why a product is ranked on the top of second page and why the product is on maybe 10th page, 12th page. There must be a factor. If out of these three factors, add to cart, order, click, orders is excluded, then what is left? Clicks definitely at the first point, and only after click it's possible to entertain the metric of add to cart. So the clicks do define your ranking from 10th, 20th at the time of launch, or maybe whatsoever page till the top of second page, and then once you get to that position, the order factor starts playing into. So a smart thing which we do is, in the very beginning, the clicks of Amazon PPC are expensive and the clicks of Google are cheaper. But then again, in Amazon maybe you are getting one click in $3 and you are getting one order after every 5 clicks. But in Google, maybe you are getting one click in 40 cents and you are getting order on maybe 50-60 clicks, because the conversion or the audience is a bit broader level, not high intent conversion and all that part. Conversion does not matter regarding the in the initial stage till the top of second page. So what we do is we go aggressive, like we do start exact match, PPC on the mid-tail keyword and all that part, or the main keyword for the indexing purposes, but at a limited budget. And at the same time, in the first 7-8 days, we go aggressive with the Google PPC, like search ads, Google search ads, with this logic which I've just shared with you. So we keep an eye on the keyword ranking, and those clicks are pretty cheaper. So if you are going to achieve your rank till second page with Google PPC, maybe in $3,000, you can achieve that in 33 or 40% of the same budget if you go with the Google ads. So we go with the Google ad and just check out if our keyword is not getting click, then we increase the bid. If it's getting click and the budget is consumed, then we keep on increasing the budget. So that is something which easily pushes our product to the bottom of first page or maybe top of second page. Once it gets that done, we stop the Google ads and then we shift towards the PPC part. And in PPC, then again, all that strategy, like what I usually do is we figure out the design specific keyword. So I basically categorize the keywords into 4 levels. First is the main keywords, like for example stress ball, for stress ball. And the second layer keyword is your design specific keyword. If your product is squishy stress ball, then you are only like the keyword squishy, that is super specific to your product. And for a stress ball, which is for the office workers and which is not squishy, which has some motivational quotation on that, that product is not going to rank for your keyword. So for squishy keyword, you limit the competition, because you are only going to be competed with the products which have the squishy element in them. So we specify those kind of keywords, we figure out their search volume specifically, and we go aggressive in the beginning with these keywords. And then again, one keyword per campaign, exact match, all that strategy. Among these keywords, we try to figure out if we can find any keyword with low title density, with any proof of less review, people getting ranked on the top. And through that, we keep on expanding with that. Like for me, ranking is the best optimization tool. And that's the reason I start from the design level. So if with all the effort of design, etc., and all these strategies, if you get ranked, your advertising cost is really going to get slashed down into half once you achieve the 50% organic quota. And then after that, I go aggressive into the net of auto campaign and broad campaign and the sponsor brand, sponsor display. But before that, I keep super focused on the ranking part, because if this is happening, then only then I am going to utilize the full potential of Amazon platform. So somehow this is something which I do usually.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, it sounds pretty much identical to I launched a product sort of 6-8 weeks ago and did very similar to that, and had really good results with it. And I think that's pretty much the playbook right now, isn't it? So that's good. You keep coming back to the idea of that initial product development, making sure the product design stands out, is something that's got some unique features. And I want to just echo that for our audience, because a lot of new sellers that I talk to, they will be worried about spending and investing in a product, whether that's investing in their listing, investing in a mold to create a new type of product, investing in like a really good packaging design that can make the main image stand out. You know, they will hesitate about investing in a product up front because they want to see some sales first. There are still some people that say, well, test a product on Amazon, and if it does well, then invest in it. I'm the other way. I think do your research, understand the data, invest in it up front, because as you said, the result of that is a better launch, more organic placement, lower cost for acquisition. You know, all of the benefit is stacked when you are willing to invest up front. So I think that I'm glad that you've highlighted that, because I think it's important.
Yeah, exactly. So we can talk more on the design part if you want to, like.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got any other kind of tips, the one thing I did want to just ask you about the launch strategy is just the pricing aspect. How aggressive you are going with that? Is it based on the product and the market, or are you just saying, well, we're just going to launch at 50% of our target price every time? Do you have a strategy there?
So let me share two smart strategies. First for the price point, and second for the reviews. So what we do is usually we love the products with variations. We love those, like all those products which have variation. Those are my favorite preferential products. So what we do is, for example, you can say set of balloon, or the balloon bags, a pack of balloon that can be in blue color, yellow, green, white, and assorted, in which there are mixture of colors. So what I usually do is to test the quality, because we go with the design development part and all that factor, to test the quality of the product and all that part. I push my supplier to arrange a small batch of inventory earlier, around 50 units of each variation. And I ask them to make a parcel, get it ready, and if it is possible to ship it through air, I ship it through air, otherwise by ocean. So once those variations get available on Amazon, I don't run the launching strategy on those variations. I enroll them into the wine program separately, and in the wine program, if the quality is good, I'm going to get around 30 reviews in a good rating, like more than 4.3, 4.4 is kind of fine with us. And then again, it's going to validate the quality of the product. It's going to validate if the FBA, if I've done the product development, is there any mistake in the product weight which is pushing it towards the next FBA fee tier, or maybe in the dimensions of this product, any kind of issue. So that kind of checks out this part. And then again, I get around 30 reviews if everything goes fine. Otherwise, if product has not that much good demand, then maybe 20-25 reviews. Then I combine all those variations, and it makes around 120, 30, or maybe 150 reviews altogether. So I keep these listings as such, and once my main load of bulk inventory is ready, I send those to Amazon and put all these as a variation. Now I
Yeah.
get the reviews of the old out of stock variations and the honeymoon period of the new variation, and I'm starting with the you can say the good number of reviews. So the early effort it takes to build up the traction, I kind of cater that part. And then with this part, we go definitely the the pricing strategy with majority people follow. I keep the pricing same or maybe a bit higher, but then again I have the 20-30% discount coupon. So I try for doing two things, because this is something which have an impact on your CTR, and CTR is the king. Like CTR has a good impact. If you have sorted your CTR, which is better than competitors, then you are directing more traffic towards your listing. So I try to do two things. First is the strike through price, like try to keep it higher, and then after maybe 20-30 orders, and then I try to decrease the price and try to get the strike through price. And then after that, once I settle down the strike through price, which is equal to what the main players in the market are doing, then because definitely our product is in the initial stages, we need to offer some better pricing and all that part. On that strike through, I try to put the discount coupon like for 20-30%, and then gradually once my product starts ranking, I keep on decreasing the discount coupon and eventually making it to zero and getting back to my full price. It usually, like my observation is, these days if you're going a good competitive product from which you are expecting to generate maybe 10 to 20,000 profit once it gets stable, my observation is usually it's getting profitable in 4 to 6 months after you launch it. Like first 3 months, I believe, if you're going purely with PPC and no giveaway strategy or any black hat stuff, if you're avoiding all this part, then the usual parameter which I have observed is it's going to take 4 to 6 months. So till the 4th month, you can say I go with the price discount coupon part, and from the 4 to 6 months, I go for optimization stuff. Like once the product is ranked, let's optimize the pricing, get back to normal. Optimize the average order value if possible, and then again like try to do optimize your PPC and all that part, and try to achieve the profitability in the last 2 months. So this is how usually I'm doing right now.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question for you, is how long do you normally tell clients, it will be until there's profit, because there's lots of advertising and discounts and that kind of thing that we've talked about. But that's good and healthy to know, again, similar to what we talk about in that sort of 4 to 6 month range to get the profitability, but worth it, because once you get to that point, then you've got all of that organic ranking that then is going to be, obviously you have to maintain and keep an eye on things, but that's a really good sort of base to work from there. So no,
Exactly.
that's good.
Exactly.
Good to know. Yeah, no, that's really good. And then in terms of the once you have launched, you start to establish, how many products are you trying to launch at the same time? Is it just a budget question, or are you just trying to get? Oh, by the way, before you do answer that little tip there, in case anybody did miss it, I just wanted to reiterate. I forgot, because that's a genius tip. That is to use variations to get your reviews, but then don't use them for the launch.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Because you obviously you don't get the honeymoon period if you just send a few of them over and then run out of stock. But if you send a new variation that wouldn't have had any reviews, but it can use the reviews of the other variations, that's really smart. So like an example of that would be your stress ball. You send like a normal, you send a plane, a car and a train stress ball, get 30 reviews on each of them. You've got 90 reviews on that listing, but then you send a football stress ball as part of the same listing, as a variation of that same listing. It's got no history itself, so it's got the honeymoon period, but it starts right out of the gate with 90 reviews because of those other variations. That's smart, man.
Exactly.
I mean, my only worry with that would be, what if Amazon changed the variations setup, but it doesn't affect you using it right now, and if it did, then you'd have to change strategy. But yeah,
we do check out if in the category in which we are going to jump in, um, are all variations showing same number of reviews, or variations are showing
Yeah.
different number of reviews? Because if they're going to show
Sure.
same, then most likely our review number is going to get combined as well. But there are some
Yeah.
categories where it does not work, and each of your variation will show their own reviews. It won't combine. So
Yeah.
in those cases,
Yeah.
definitely we won't be able to entertain. But then again, you can't apply
Yeah.
everything on anything. So yeah, so that's how it is.
Yeah.
But it
What do you
really
make?
helps to shrink your launch budget, that Google ad strategy
Yeah.
and this wine review strategy.
Yeah. No, that's very clever. What do you suggest for? Oh, sorry. What do you make of the review changes that Amazon have made? You know, the display of the review count, and they seem to have changed it a few times, showing the review count and then not showing it, and then showing it in a simplified form.
Amazon is testing
What do
it, I
you? What
guess.
do you think?
I guess
Yeah.
Amazon is.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see, in some categories, it's showing only rating, and then reviews are shown on
Hmm.
the PDP. And then in some categories, you
Hmm.
see reviews outside. So I'm just kind of. For me, definitely, it looks like an advantage for the newcomers if Amazon finally
Hmm.
take the decision. Like right now, it's shuffling and it's testing. It's not confirmed, I believe.
Yeah.
But then again, if Amazon confirms regarding the rating part only, then if I see from the perspective of a new seller, I would definitely see as an advantage. But if I see from the status, like my listing is stable and top ranked in a category, then I see kind of a little threat as well, because review mode is one of the coolest thing. Like you have higher number of
Yeah.
reviews, you settle down. Only a person with better design can outcompete you. Otherwise, if someone is going to replicate your design and price, he's going to be the second best. He's never going to be the top player in your particular design category. So I have a mixed feeling, honestly speaking, depending on from which position I'm observing this part.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
So yeah, so that's how
Yeah.
it's working.
Yeah.
Regarding
I get.
sorry
Sorry, go
for
on.
interrupting. Regarding the design part, you had a very smart discussion, like when you said for the new sellers, they have a concern, like how to check out the design part. So I do also do a smart thing here. People do analysis of the whole product. Like let's again take the example of stress ball. Once it's stress ball, what they do is they check out all of the market depth and how people are like what revenue they are making against what number of reviews and all that part. And I believe if you make a poll and ask the new sellers what was the common mistake they did in their first 3 to 5 launches, everyone would definitely mention wrong design selection part. It is that common. But then again, it is that much unheard of. People don't talk about that much. So like I usually get queries from anyone from the audience, or maybe anyone from the LinkedIn connection, or maybe YouTube follower. So they do discuss their case. Majority of the time, the major issue is wrong price point or wrong design. So what I usually do is I break down the market on the basis of designs. For example, there is a stress ball for carpal tunnel syndrome. Like people use that stress ball if they had a surgery or maybe an injury, and they had to now their muscles are weakened and they want to strengthen it. So this is one. There's a stress ball with motivational quotes for office workers who get under stress and they want a motivational quotation like you can make it and all this kind of stuff. There's a stress ball of squishy, like you must have seen on the YouTube or TikTok or Instagram. So that is squishy. Once you squeeze it, the little bubbles burp out. So then again, there are on the fourth number there are stress balls with the puppet feature. Then again, on the sixth number there are stress balls with the you can say different designs like train, car, etc. So the new seller, if we are talking from the perspective of someone who has just started on Amazon, they take this category as something complex, and they try to go to, after a product which is pretty simple. Like everyone on the page is selling same design. For example, lemon squeezer. For example, anything like any stick maybe, or any such kind of stuff which is plain, like craft paper again. But they don't realize that this thing is pretty harder, because the market purchase behavior starts getting inclined or starts becoming more dependent on the number of reviews, because there is no variation in the form of design. So people would only be attracted, okay, if everyone is selling the same thing, then let's go with the person with more credibility. And they make it tougher for themselves, like it becomes more tough. If they see towards this side where there are multiple designs, and they segregate the market based upon design, and when we say segregate, the parameter should be what is the revenue of one design. Let's say in design A there are 12 sellers, and everyone has this number of reviews and this much revenue, and the total revenue is this. Then again, same for design B, same for design C, same for design D. And you analyze if there is any design in, let's say, if there's any seller in design A who is doing good with less number of reviews, okay, or if there is any design who's less dominated by Amazon or maybe any other brand. So among those 4 designs, you segregate those based upon review, revenue, and number of sellers, and total depth of that design. You would surely find some unique opportunities, because people don't step down to this level of depth. And once you check out, okay, this is a design, there are 7-8 sellers, that's a good number, they're making decent money. And even there is a precedent that even people with less number of reviews are like, let's say people with 300-400 reviews are making good money. Because what new sellers don't realize is, if you see that only sellers with 1,000+ reviews are making money, then to make to achieve 1,000 reviews with 2% review velocity, you may need to sell 50,000 units. So it makes pretty damn harder, and you may start getting traction or organic order after maybe 2 years or 1 year. So that's a longer time period. You need to find some examples where low review sellers are making money, because that would shorter your time to achieve the organic orders or ranking or all that part. So once you cater, and there is no design development needed for this part, it's only smart number breaking, nothing else. And that is especially for the new sellers. So once they break down, they are going to find the opportunity, tap that opportunity. And once you get stable in that design, let's say you want to increase your revenue. If you have launched one product of same design, what you would do is add on the second product, the third product, the fourth product. In this case, usually your supplier is going to have the manufacturing of other designs as well. So what you need to do is you need to start adding more variations, design variations in the market, and you are going to start earning further revenue. Like let's say you had launched this squeezy one, now you are launching the motivational quotation one, now you are launching for carpal tunnel syndrome, now you are launching for maybe poppet. So it's very easier, and you can increase your revenue by every quarter if you are profitable. It's that easier. Same supplier, you don't need to find the supply chain, you don't need to understand the market numbers, the conversion, the return rate, etc., all these points. So it becomes pretty simple and easier to expand accordingly. So this is something someone who don't want to invest maybe $5, $6 or $10,000 for the mold, maybe they can at least do this thing for their design selection part, I would say. That may help them to take a better decision.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we call that the law of least effort. James Clear in Atomic Habits, the book, he talks about how agriculture grew laterally across the world because of the climate, and it was easier to do that than go north to south. And we try and apply those principles to growing in e-commerce as well. Do what's easiest for growth first, and that, like you say, is adding variations, adding more marketplaces for the same product, because then you get more revenue for less effort, and maximize all those opportunities first, right? Last question for you before we look to close, because coming up on time, is just, we've talked about a lot of the changes that have and are taking place on Amazon. What do you predict for the next 12 months, 24 months? How does someone just coming into this industry or growing in this industry, how do they prepare to be at the forefront of what's going to be successful in the next period of time with Amazon?
I believe two things. First thing, what my observation is, I've never observed, like definitely my observation time period is only like for last 5-6 years, but that makes a good time period.
It's a long time on Amazon,
The speed in which new designs are coming into the market, that has never been observed before. Like usually before, one design used to have a life cycle, or you can say the shelf life of maybe 2.5 or 3 years. But right now, with the ease of product development, or maybe with the competitiveness of the advertising part, you can take it either way. People are become like this is not something which we are suggesting the audience to do, like come up with a better design that sounds cool. I believe that has become a necessity, because if you even if you get stable, your stability is not guaranteed if you don't keep an eye on what's coming up, the new thing. Like if you're not having an eye on the new thing, if you're not having an eye on what's the new design which is better than your ones, and you are not timely phasing out your, like when recently for around 2 to 3 of our clients, what we did is there was a design which was making a good revenue, a decent profit and all that part, but we gradually phased out that design and shifted the same listing towards a new design, because this was happening, the market was getting attracted towards the new design, and we took a timely decision. And even if you say you are taking a timely decision and you are making good revenue, it requires you around 4 to 6 months to do the transition. You can't go suddenly out of stock and set up the new inventory, so you need a 6 months time period. So in my observation is the pace with which new designs or new products or new values, you can say even new values, like the thing is same but Chinese are providing the same service, or the suppliers of anywhere in the world, maybe India, maybe Vietnam, maybe Pakistan, they are providing the same delivery in a cost effective way, the same value in a cost effective way. I observed that in the case of Booty Band, the same product was sold in $28, the same product is now being sold in $9, but the quality, it works smoothly for 4 to 6 months, it does not have an issue. So they are cracking out the code back at the manufacturing level, maybe, and second maybe catering the pain points in a better way. At the third level, maybe coming up with a different design. So the pace of this is getting higher. So you can't rely that okay, if you have if you are only the advertising guy and you are not keeping an eye on what's coming up new, then maybe it is quite possible, and you may hear many top sellers on Amazon saying this part, that a product was performing good and suddenly after 3-4 years it stopped performing better, because a new or better design took up the place and you did not notice that and you did not change it accordingly. So this is something you need to not only come up with a new design, but you need to update it like you update your PPC. It's becoming that much essential. And for the advertising part, I believe in the next 12 months social commerce is going to have a big impact, like with the recent update where your sponsor product is going to be shown on the Pinterest. I believe social commerce is going to play a big role. So the branding activities, which we usually used to think that once my product will achieve or brand will achieve a certain revenue, only then I will proceed with the content creation or the social media marketing or all that part. I believe we may need to do it earlier. So it may require more effort, focusing or working on the design and more skills. Like you can't only rely on PPC. Maybe in the next 12 to 24 months, you may need to understand the art of content creation, taking up on board the TikTok influencers and all that part. But at the same time, it's becoming more like a mainstream business, like businesses are.
Yeah.
It may require more time, but then again, it will also offer more stability and more predictability of what you're going to do. So yeah, this is what I see.
Yeah, and a bigger potential reward as well.
Yeah.
You know, when I started selling on Amazon, the talk of selling a business on Amazon, you know, it was almost non-existent, and you could maybe get 1 or 2 times annual profits. Sorry, I was going to sneeze. Now it's gone, of course. Whereas now, of course, it's maybe not the same as it was in the 2021 craze of aggregator gold rush, but it's still really good multiples. There's lots of people out there that will buy a business. So with a maturing market, yes, comes more time needed. It's not quite as passive as maybe gets suggested, but there are bigger rewards for sure. So this has been really good, Owais. So that really insightful, and it's really obvious that you've got your feet on the ground, making some great moves on Amazon. If people do want to find out more about you, about the agency, that kind of thing, where's the best place to send them?
So the agency name is Upscale Valley. You can check out my website. I have a YouTube channel where I upload content consistently and very valuable. It's with my own name, Owais Amin. Then I'm pretty active on LinkedIn as well. Then recently I'm active on TikTok as well. On all three social media platforms, it's on with my own name, Owais Amin. So you can outreach to me through these platforms.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll get links to those in the show notes and the description as well, so people can get in contact with you. I really appreciate you taking the time out. This has been a super valuable episode.
Yeah, I really liked talking to you, and yeah, it was pretty insightful and a good talk. I really liked that.
Definitely. No, that's good, man. Very good. Awesome. Well, thanks everyone who's listened as well. I hope you have enjoyed that episode. Lots of gold nuggets in there. Some great tips for your launches and variations, and loads of things in there to be looking at. So take some notes, take it away, take some action, and we'll see you in the next episode, same time next week. Take care.